Okay, I think we're set up there.
Yay.
Hello, folks.
Hey, guys. As usual, fiddling with the electronics.
Always.
Always. We'll be. It's always a new game, every time.
Always. Okay, there.
All
I
right.
should have a running view of comments.
Good,
If
good,
it stays
good,
up.
good.
Okay, 11 people here with us already.
right.
Great.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. This
Late
is-
Valentine's.
Is this officially our Happy New Year to the online jammers?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, we were at the very end of December.
December.
Before. All right.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, hope 2026 is off to a promising start for everybody out there.
I hope everybody's out of Snowmageddon.
Good grief.
We still have piles of snow here in spite of a lot of rain, and wasn't it like in the 60s today?
It was.
70s today.
And this is where
We seem to
snow
have it.
doesn't really come much and certainly doesn't stick around.
No.
Sorry for all of you up north. We're going to be jamming in the key of D tonight. I'm going to be in standard GDAE violin tuning all night. Beth is going to be without the capo all night. Most of the tunes that we're playing are just 1, 4, and 5 chords. Why don't you go through those shapes? Yep, she makes 5A with one finger.
One
Has a
finger.
really distinctive look to it.
So if you see that, that's an A.
Yep, you don't have to make
And
yours that way if you don't
I think
want
we've
to.
got an E
There will be an E at a later stage.
and a C.
Yes, we'll talk about those again when they come up. And we hope you'll have fun jamming along with us. These are not performances. If they were, we wouldn't be in the key of D all night, I promise. And we'd go for a more varied vibe all around. But we're trying a mixture of more familiar and less familiar tunes. The less familiar ones aren't going to be so off the wall. We hope that you'll struggle to follow along. And if you can't quite manage on the fly here, visit the archive version, which you can pause and rewind to your heart's content. And once it goes up on our fairly new YouTube playlist, you can also adjust the speed to your comfort. Lots
And
to look forward to.
clickable links
Yes, there will be clickable
to the tunes.
tune title links underneath this video when it goes on YouTube. We'll talk more about that later, too.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the spreadsheet.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, for our first number of the program, we're going to play Too Young to Marry. I think of this as a really commonly played D tune. I'm not sure you feel that way. What do folks out there think? Is Too Young to Marry an early tune for you? It was, I guess, for me.
Not for me.
I was turned on to it through Bob Carlin's fantastic Banging and Sawing album, which is now probably 40 years old, but still sounds and feels very fresh.
You know, we always have one person who's watching.
It's
And
Rose Spinks tonight.
It's Rose Spinks.
Yes. Nothing you're doing wrong,
Nothing you're
Rose. It's something Facebook does. It says Rose Spinks is watching.
150
watching,
times.
watching.
Yeah, so.
We're glad you're there. I hope you're playing the fiddle
Last
with us.
time it was.
It's usually Terry
It was
Bird.
Rita.
Oh, was it Rita
Yeah,
Scott?
Rita
last
Scott. Last time. Yeah.
Who knows?
All right.
All right, Too Young to Marry. Here we go.
Can we start that over?
Sure.
Boy, can you tell?
Let's get it right.
We've been cooped up a while. Okay, here we go. say you can't start over.
That's right.
Right.
If things go wrong the first time, try again. And if
Oh,
this gets
my.
too slick for anyone, just let us know.
Yeah.
We'll fix that right away.
You can tell we've been laying around this winter.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all good. All right. Terry Burdick is there. Hi,
Hey,
Terry.
Terry.
Oh, lots of familiar faces and names.
I saw Wes Dryden's
Great.
name.
Oh, was Wes lurking at some
Uh-huh.
point? It's pretty
That's
late
all.
over
I know,
in
it's
Liverpool.
pretty late in Liverpool, yeah.
Well, I had the comments displaying, and now they're not doing it.
Well, phooey. There you go.
There they are again. All right. Rob Daves is tuning in from Minneapolis. Good stuff.
Happy birthday late to Louise.
Yeah. Jenny James in Tampa
Hey,
tuning
Jenny.
in.
We're going to be seeing those instructor types next weekend.
That's right. We're having an off-season pasture fans get-together
Yeah.
next weekend. All right. Time for another tune, I think. We're going to do another sort of standard, the Chinese Breakdown. This is such a funny tune. Fun and funny both. And I've always been really curious about that name, Chinese Breakdown. What about it sounds Chinese?
I don't know,
Who knows? It's from Round Peak.
I know,
North
but
Carolina.
didn't that remind you of that session we were in with Chester?
Yeah, where he called everything.
Well,
Yeah, okay, you tell.
Yeah, so we were in this session some years ago, maybe 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, with Chester McMillan, who is like the Round Peak guitarist. He played with everybody.
Tommy Gerald especially.
And he's still going strong and fantastic player and stuff. And we got in a session with him and Christina Wenzel, Christina Wheeler Wenzel, who is one of the best fiddlers I've ever heard.
Me too.
And she's from Chicago. She was raised in Chicago. So we were sitting outside playing, and
A lot of
Christina
Midwestern tunes.
Christina was launching into all these Midwestern tunes, and then she was finished a tune, and then Chester just kind of looked at her and said, "Why do you want to play all those Australian tunes? Why don't you play some real music, i.e., Round Peak?"
Round Peak.
So, it was pretty funny.
So maybe if the Round Peakers named Chinese Breakdown,
Yeah.
that was meant to separate them from it.
Or maybe the Australian something Bramble or something.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
We're going to play the form the way that I'm used to hearing it in Round Peak, but that might not be what everyone is used to. 2 A parts, 1 B part, and both of the parts are long parts, so we'll be in the A part for a while before we switch over to B. This always sounds to me like cartoon music. Was it maybe on a cartoon a long
I wouldn't be
time
surprised.
ago?
I wouldn't be surprised.
It
Is
should
that
be.
Brendan? Did I see Brendan? I thought
Maybe.
he would know.
All right, the Chinese Breakdown. Chinese breakdown. Isn't that hilarious?
Such a good dance tune.
It really is fun.
It's very inspiring to play it, thinking about doing a dance.
That's right. All right, this is showing us a certain amount of comment thread. Allie Jean is out there with Daniel listening and dancing.
All right.
Great. Looking forward to seeing you guys later on this year in a big
June.
way.
In
Terry
June.
Burdick is watching about 6
geez.
times in a row.
She and Robin and Rose tonight, I think, are getting that.
Hilarious.
Whatever.
Okay.
It's so funny.
All right, we're going to do a little bit more offbeat tune now, but I think this used to be more of a standard tune than it currently is. We're going to play Rocky Mountain Goat. And I had forgotten all about Rocky Mountain Goat, or almost all about Rocky Mountain Goat, until we were at Midwest Banjo Camp last year in one of those giant jams that had like 20 banjos and 1 fiddle and, if you're lucky, 1 guitar, which we aren't always lucky enough to have. And we were doing kind of the round robin thing, inviting banjo players to pick tunes, and we were in the key of D, so somebody suggested Rocky Mountain Goat, and I thought, well, how about that? That would make a nice jam tune, but can I even figure out how to do it? Because, see, 31 years ago, to like this very month, I think, or maybe next month, or maybe last month, but it was winter, early 1995, 31 years ago, I had the privilege of sitting down with Richie Stearns, one of my banjo heroes, in my banjo teacher's living room in Minneapolis when I was very small.
Was that not Marianne Kovach?
That was Marianne Kovach's living room. She facilitated the lesson, and I'm so grateful to her. And Richie Stearns taught me Rocky Mountain Goat in that lesson, and he had the coolest banjo arrangement of it. That was my first encounter with the alternate string pull-off, which was so much fun and is like a fixture of the technique in my estimation, and has been ever thereafter. But I had always kind of thought of it as a banjo tune, because that was the context in which I first encountered it. And back then, it was really hard to chase down fiddle recordings if you didn't happen to have them already, or if they weren't in the local music store.
There was no YouTube.
No.
Yeah.
So in that banjo camp jam, we just sort of put something together that mimicked best I could on the wrong instrument what I remembered of the banjo version, and then we got together with Ken Perlman later at that same camp, who knew the tune from Alan Jabour's fiddling, and we kind of compared notes, and Beth and I have sort of been enjoying playing it ever since, but I don't know if it's quite right.
So what is your normal statement
know.
For things like this? Everything old.
Oh, everything old is new again. Yes, and this has definitely gone through the folk process ringer as well. I did go online and listen to some fiddle versions, but I wasn't aiming to follow any of them in particular. This is our version of Rocky Mountain Goat, and with thanks to Richie Stearns for his long ago inspiration. Goat. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
I've fallen in love with it all over again.
I think Mary Sue had a
this is interesting. She says Rocky Mountain Goat was a signature tune for West Virginia fiddler Mose Kaufman. He played it with an extra beat at the end of the A part. Cool, Mary Sue. Thanks for the heads up. I'll have to look that up and see if I can find it. I wonder if the melody is otherwise similar, even if we've squared ours up. Michael Henry says Whiskey Before Rocky Mountain Goat. I know it. They are a little bit similar. Spring in the Valley, likewise. In that A
Cricket
part.
on the Hearth.
Cricket on the Hearth. Yeah, they're all of a type, I suppose.
I think I saw Hunter Walker.
I saw Hunter Walker was watching, at least.
If he's still there, we just want to say that the Chihuahua video was hysterical.
We loved it. The Chihuahua named Aunt Susie, if I remember
the video
correctly.
of Aunt Susie.
So much fun. Well, Mark Burhan said it was also one of Ward Jarvis's tunes.
Hey, Mark.
Good to know. Hi, Mark. All right, so I guess West Virginia connections. And Alan Jabor learned from Henry Reed, who was originally from West Virginia. Maybe it's all adding up.
Yep.
But back to Round Peak now.
Yeah.
We're going to play what is sometimes called Polly Put the Kettle On and sometimes called Molly Put the Kettle On. And I've taken to preferring the Molly title because the Polly title attaches to so many different tunes, some of which are completely unrelated to this one. I've never heard the Molly title get attached to anything but this Round Peak tune. We like to do it with 3 parts, 3 short parts, each of them repeated. Blink and you'll miss the 4 chord in the final part, but that's the best moment in the entire tune.
And it comes way after you think it's going to.
It does, yeah. Don't you sometimes call this Molly Polly?
Molly Polly, yeah.
Definitely.
I forgot about that.
And we'll all take tea. Kettle On. Pretty fun, huh?
Wow.
All right. Ooh.
What?
Rose Sphinx. Really nice version. You guys renewing my interest. Thanks. So glad. So glad Rose is doing more than just watching with us according to Facebook. Hilarious. Oh, Holly Jackson. Hi, Holly from Ohio. She says around here it's called Holly Put the Kettle On.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a favorite of hers. That's fun. All right.
That is your prerogative.
Clay Christian tuning in maybe
Hey,
from
Clay.
Edinburgh. Could that be? He says it's past his bedtime.
Oh,
So glad to
wow.
have you here with us. Miss seeing you around.
Yes.
All right, it's time for a brand new tune to us. Well, to me. You said it was familiar,
Oh,
but
it's
it's
familiar
not
to me, but
one
I
that
don't
gets
know
played
why.
around.
But it was.
Right.
I didn't have to learn the chords.
That's right,
Yeah.
you sure didn't. This is Twinkle Little Star. Not Twinkle, Twinkle Little Star. Not that. Twinkle Little Star fiddle tune. And it actually came our way twice in the space of less than a year, but I had forgotten about the first appearance of it, and I don't know if you remember either. At Midwest Banjo Camp last year. That was a good camp for tune learning. We were in a session late one evening with Molly Tenenbaum playing the fiddle, which I've rarely heard her do. And we were tossing tunes around, and it was great fun. Sam Bartlett was there, Ken Perlman was there, fabulous. And she suggested Twinkle Little Star. And I thought, well, I've never heard that before. And I fell in love with the tune the minute she started doing it. And when she told me that it came from Luther Davis, that just sent me over the top. I'm kind of fascinated by Luther Davis's repertoire, what I've learned of it sort of second and third hand, a lot through Paul Brown, who knew Luther Davis quite well.
And now through.
And now, just, a couple months ago, if that, our friend Kay Justice generously shared with us a CD of home recordings of Luther Davis playing about 30 lovely tunes in a very slow, kind of creaky but very lovely fashion. He was very old when those recordings were made, and his playing is really a link to a pre-recorded time, I think, around Galax, Virginia. Really special repertoire and style, both. And there he was playing this same tune that Molly shared with us, which I had mostly forgotten about. So now we had a recording to really learn it from, and turned out that you remembered it from a long time ago. And it's an odd tune, so it's not like you were relying on muscle memory from other tunes.
No, I have some memory, and it could be off, that Kurt Sutherland played it, but not certain about that.
Well, we looked it up on Slippery Hill when we were starting to get to know it, and there were other very similar tunes by the same title in the catalog from a fairly broad swath of fiddlers, so I think it must have been around. I feel like I've heard Eddie Bond play something that he called Twinkle Little Star,
Yeah, that
but I
could
don't
be.
know that it was quite the same. So a few odd things about it. The parts are long, like Chinese breakdown, but the B part is not quite as long as you think. It's a long part made crooked, like a phrase gets deleted, and you'll have to follow the guitar chording for a cue about the crookedness. I think that's more helpful than following the melody. It's got the usual 1, 4, and 5 chords in both parts, but the A part has, check your number again, has a 2 chord in it. We're working on the number system. Very good. So that's an E chord on the guitar, and Beth is going to make it in the usual way, and it's a passing chord between 1 and 5.
That's the 7.
That would be the 7. Yes, that's going to come up later, but not in this one.
Yeah.
Why don't we do just an overview, play it once round quite slowly, so that no one is taken aback. It's the sweetest little tune, and I hope you really enjoy it. So, Twinkle Little Star from Luther Davis preview, and then we'll play it some more a bit faster. 1, 2, 3. Onward to be. Crookedness. like when Beth goes to the 4 chord, the G chord in the B part, that's your landmark, no matter how uneven it might have been up before that point. Here we go, 4 chord. And as of that moment, the B part becomes like the A part from the corresponding chord. So just borrow a lot of material from the end of the A and you'll be fine. And that part won't repeat either. So let's do it a bit faster. Luther Davis played everything really slowly, which I appreciate because I can hear the detail that I need to hear without having to guess or slow the recording down. We're not going to go quite that slowly though. Davis. Isn't that fun? I'm obsessed.
It's a lot of fun to play.
It is fun to play.
Yeah.
What's that other one that we are working on from him? A version of a common
Shady Grove.
tune. Right, Shady Grove.
Walking in the Parlor.
Walking in the Parlor. That's the
Yeah.
one I was thinking of. The next time we do one of these G jams or
D.
D jams,
D.
we just might have to include that Walking in the Parlor. It's so neat.
Is there anything to respond to?
Let's see. Clay Christian is indeed in Edinburgh. We'd love
Lucky
to go back
Clay.
to Edinburgh. Yes. All right. Sue and Bruce are there tuning in from Toronto. I'm seeing this message, Sue. Don't know if I missed any earlier ones. The chat thread is a little bit funny, but so glad you're out there.
Yeah.
All right. I need to get a little better in tune with you. Time for familiar territory again.
When I was first starting into old time music and I learned this tune, I thought it was this one and Rabbit and a Pea Patch were the two most exciting tunes I knew.
I can imagine why.
I still think this one's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Anybody love Forked Deer out there?
And this is only the 2-part, not the 5-part.
Yeah, we're going to do the standard 2-part
Yeah.
version. There's still a lot of good music in this tune,
Yeah.
and I love it a whole lot. Funny, this was never one that I really learned when I was getting going with old-time music, and I love to play it on both instruments, but it's not even one that I teach routinely. It just feels like everybody learns this one organically.
I think it's because it goes to the 5 to start the B part.
Yeah.
That's why it makes it so exciting.
It's so dramatic. Yeah, it just builds
Very
and builds.
dramatic. Ha! Got my number right.
Yes. All right, here we go.
fun to play. It's just the same old D, G, and A, but the pattern is so different, and it really makes you feel like you're doing something far out, you know.
Yes, definitely.
What's being said?
Sandy Park started an urban legend. Interesting. That if you play
you are a storyteller.
If you play Fork a Deer in a Jam, no one will hit a deer on the way home. It's been 2 years, and so far no one has.
Aww,
love it. Let's hope that trend
tradition.
continues.
Now, if you play the 5-part one, do you not hit any other creatures as well?
Right. Good question. Or do you get 5 jams without hitting
anybody?
Anything?
Right?
That's
Where
hilarious.
do you go out every night that week?
Yeah.
What does Carla say?
Carla, Joe just showed up and says, hello, we were just talking about Clifftop today. Yay. Also Swananoa. Yay.
Whoa.
Hope to see you guys there. That would be so fun. Beth and I are both teaching at Swananoa Gathering Old Time Week. Me for the first time in 17 years.
And me for the first time.
Ever. That's right.
Yeah.
We're so excited about it. Hope to see people there.
Come join us.
Do you remember Lillianne McCool from Arkansas?
Yes, I do.
Such a good banjo player. Hi, Lillianne. Glad you're out there. Lillianne said, hoping to see you at Swananoa too. Wouldn't that be fun?
We're going to see all these fun folks.
Lillianne plays clawhammer and 3-finger banjo, and she makes a really interesting comment. Key of D. Love it on clawhammer. Agreed. Hate it on 3-finger. And I hear that from a lot of bluegrass people. Lillianne, what's your usual configuration for the key of D for bluegrass? Do you put the capo on and play from the, let's see, what would it be? From the C position with the capo on? Or do you not use the capo and play from the D position? Or do you ever retune? Probably not, but since you know those old-time banjo tunings, maybe you do.
Post it in the comments because folks can read about it in case we missed your response.
Yeah, it is a conundrum, though, because the bluegrass banjo world is so oriented around that open G tuning, and that's good for a lot of things, but I understand it's not the best for the key of D. Yeah. And there are different ways to cope with it, but I think everything is a little bit of a compromise.
Right. And it's a good thing to learn the 2-part, I mean, for many reasons, but to learn the 2-part one first.
Oh yeah.
Because if you've been playing the 5-part one, then it's hard to just stay with the 2 parts. You know, you want to go all over the place. So it's really nice to play the 2-part.
It's refreshing, isn't it? And the 5-part one is just variations on these same themes, really.
Yeah.
All right, you suggested this next tune.
Speaking of drama. Well, it's getting ready. This season is getting ready to start back up for us, camp season and so on. And jams, you know, in real life are getting ready to start back up. At the camps. And this tune is so popular at the camps.
Seemed a good one to include.
Yeah.
It's going to be Valley Forge.
Valley Forge.
It's one of those D tunes with C chords in them, and some people really love those. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan in the world.
He's not one of the people that love it. But
I'll play some of them.
It is exciting.
It is exciting.
You can't deny that. It's exciting.
A tune with this chord in it in the key of D sounds different from everything else, and it's nice to have a palate cleanser. So from that perspective, we'll do it, and I love what you do with it on the guitar, and the low part I think is actually pretty fun to play on the fiddle. I like the way that it feels more than the way that it sounds, for whatever that's worth. So Valley Forge, 3 parts, each of them with a C chord. The 3rd part, the C part, starts on the C chord. It'll catch you a little bit off guard if you're expecting a D to C transition.
And you beginning or intermediate or whatever guitar players, it is an excellent tune to practice your alternating bass.
Yeah,
it really needs it in a big way.
Because it hangs out on each chord for a while. Is there a little A turnaround?
Yes.
Yeah, but no 4 chord, no G chord.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, doesn't it?
I don't think so.
Okay. You know, I can't remember anything unless I'm in the middle of it.
Well, let's figure it out right now.
All right.
Forge.
That one's a workout.
Lillian had an interesting comment about Valley Forge, one of Ramona Jones's go-to tunes. And Ramona and Grandpa Jones lived in Mountain View. I'm not sure I knew that. And banjo geeks like me, Lillian has provided some information about her bluegrass approach to the key of D, tuning and capo-wise. Interesting. Lillian, if you do come to Swannanoa or any place else Beth and I will be this summer, feel free to play bluegrass banjo as well as clawhammer banjo. We love bluegrass banjo in old-time jams so much.
Having issues.
That's okay. Did you go sharp?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll come down. Tell it who's boss.
That's right.
That sounds good.
That's better.
Well, those camp jams, banjo camp especially, are so funny because if one of those D tunes with a C chord in it, like Valley Forge, gets suggested, invariably a whole slew of them will then get suggested.
Dusty
And
Miller.
we'll play through the whole gamut of them, and I'll have everybody know I'm very well behaved when I'm the fiddler in those sessions. I smile, I don't really say anything, I play them, and I hope someone will call a different kind of tune. But I don't veto any of them.
You like Dusty Miller.
I do really like that Dusty Miller in
Yeah,
D with
yeah.
the C chord. And I like Poplar Bluff, and I like some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Cuckoo.
Cuckoo's Nest, yeah, Ed Haley.
Yeah, Cuckoo's
Yeah,
Nest.
that's fine.
Some.
Yeah,
There's
there's some good
you
ones.
like. You're pretty of some of them.
Yeah, and Valley Forge is fun to play. And I'm glad you suggested it.
We all have our ones that we love. And
That's
we don't.
right.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to play hopefully a familiar tune to folks, at least familiar sounding. This is the Arthur Berry tune. And I feel like it was played up and down the Ohio Valley, but Buddy Thomas is the fiddler best known for playing a beautiful version. Depending on how limber my fingers feel, I might try to bring in
Some trilling.
yes, a B-part variation that I got off the playing of Dave Bing from West Virginia, for whom this used to be, anyway, kind of a signature tune. And he plays this really wonderful, florid B part that sounds harder than it is. I wouldn't say it's easy to do, but there's a little bit of a pattern to it, a finger pattern. We'll see. We've been practicing it that way.
Don't freak out if you...
I know.
Okay.
It's only a jam.
All right.
I might try to do it. Maybe I'll warm up. That's how it's meant to sound. We'll see if I pull it off sort of, or mostly, or at all. But I won't put that in every time. We'll play the ordinary B part mostly. I'm still not quite with you.
See, Valley Forge did us in.
Did our tuning in anyway. Arthur Berry. with it somehow.
You did it.
All right. Let's see what's being said. Yes, people are still watching. Terry Burdick watching 3 times in a row.
It's always Rose.
Yes, Terry, hope you're playing your banjo, which wish you were right here with your banjo. All right, we're going to play a modern tune. We're starting to bring in some contemporary compositions to this series, either ones that we're hearing people play around already, or ones that we think should be being played around because they fit right into the tradition. They're so much fun. We've got 2 of them on the docket this evening, in fact. This next one is called Going Back to Athens, and it was written by our very good friend Jim Childress.
Yeah.
And it's just so much fun to play.
Latest CD, Fly Away.
Fly Away, that's the name of the album. Yes.
Also has some illustrious other people.
It does. It does. And we were lucky enough to get to play this tune with him on that album in a big band with a rollicking, fun sound. I think this could be mistaken for an old tune. It doesn't sound modern in any gimmicky way. It's just nice. It has some unusual spaces in the beat part, so watch out, but it's not crooked. Athens. That's by Jim Childress. We're so grateful to have learned that tune from him, and we'd love for y'all to help spread it around the community. Really fun.
And if you aren't familiar with Jim Childress, he has 3 recordings over the years and some really fine music.
And all original tunes
All
on
originals.
those recordings, right?
Yeah, they're wonderful.
I always like an instrumental fiddle tune, well, presumably instrumental, where I can hear the title in the tune. Going back to Athens, going back to Athens. I think that's really clever. Don't you?
Yeah, I do. I never thought about it, but yeah.
All right. Got a couple more here. Not too very many. This is one of your favorites coming up next. This is Can You Dance a Tobacco Hill? ? I think that's the strangest title.
It's a dance.
Is it? Really?
I think
okay.
so, yeah.
Where'd you learn this one?
I learned it from Beverly Smith.
In a session,
In a
right?
session, yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
But now Brad Leftwich recorded it, and so you hear it a lot on Pandora, especially if you're on Brad Leftwich radio. So,
Yeah, Brad was my introduction to the
Yeah.
tune, and he sings it.
Yeah,
and
it's got 1,000 words.
It's like a tongue twister, and of course he does it perfectly, and he plays it perfectly
Yeah.
too. What a good recording. Turns out this goes back to Snake Chapman of Kentucky. Did you know that?
No, I did
yes.
not. You know me, I'm the secondary source.
I know. From Brad Leftwich, from Beverly
From
Smith.
Beverly Smith. Right.
That's okay.
Yeah, right.
Those people did their homework.
Yeah.
They're good to learn from, too. All right, Tobacco Hill. Can You Dance a Tobacco Hill? Short little parts, but action-packed. play.
Yeah, and Beverly Smith was actually playing the fiddle, not the guitar.
Right, I figured as much. So you were having to figure out all those funny changes yourself.
Tunes that have a lot of changes just are really hard for me to learn. You just really kind of have to memorize them.
Choppy changes, not so intuitive. We have some housekeeping details to discuss, including where y'all can find this jam when Facebook takes it away. Facebook won't store these live streams beyond 30 days anymore. So sometime between now and 30 days from now, we're going to be saving it and sending it to our magical assistant, Alan Henniger, out in Oklahoma, who will make us look younger and thinner and play better in tune and all of that. And get it ready for posting on YouTube. My YouTube channel, I think that's the Clawhammerist channel, whatever, it has my picture, you'll find it, now has a playlist of all of the online old-time jams that we've run, dating back to 2021. So soon you'll be able to find this there. And the YouTube interface is a lot easier for navigating these after the fact, especially because we create this clickable list of tune titles in the description for each video. You see a title you want, click, it takes you right to the top of that tune. You don't have to scan back and forth and suffer through all our conversation all over again.
Or our false starts.
Any of those. Any of that. So we'll set the start of, was it too young to marry to delete that false start. Right. Yes, it'll all be fine. And as mentioned earlier, since it's on YouTube and not on Facebook, you have access to that speed control feature. So if any of these tempos were a little too fast for your comfort, you can slow it down to your taste and enjoy. We have tip jar links pinned to the comment thread and to the top of this post as well, if you feel so inclined. We do appreciate it so much. We've got the same links over on the YouTube playlist. If you would like a directory to every tune played in every one of these online old-time jams,
sorted alphabetically.
Yes, and by key. Beth maintains this. It'll take a little while for her to add tonight's repertoire to that because we wanted to include timestamps and all of that. So if you would like to be on her mailing list for the spreadsheet or the PDF version of it, I guess, drop her a line on Facebook, drop me a line. We're pretty easy to find. Get in touch.
I actually do it in Excel so that you can sort it for yourself.
Oh, you give them a customizable version?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even better.
So,
all right.
or you can bring it into Google Docs. Whichever you want to do. So, question.
Yes.
Was that Young Fogies?
Yes,
okay,
it was. It was not the Clifftop CD.
That's my own thing.
Yes.
All right.
We're very excited about the next tune we're going to play. 2 tunes left, 1 tune and 1 waltz.
Right.
And this next tune, may I say?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's pretty commonly played in the community right now, and we have Beth Harkness to thank for that. Beth Williams Harkness recorded this on the Young Fogies Volume 2, which I didn't even know about until some years later, but it's a great album. Both of the Young Fogies are wonderful, and that was in the mid-90s? Does that seem about right? Mid to late 90s?
Probably late 80s.
That early?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so. I think it was before Joanna was born.
No kidding.
I think so.
Goodness.
Okay. Maybe not. I'm terrible at remembering things like that.
Well,
it was before 2000.
Okay.
I know that.
But that was the first modern recording by modern players of this tune, and that recording introduced the whole community to it with beautiful chord progression, the only way this tune should be chorded in my estimation. What do you want to say about the tune before you and after you?
Well, I heard this from a recording that came out on June Apple. It was June Apple, not Flying Fish. June Apple.
Did we say the title? Walking Up Georgia Road.
Yeah, the title of the tune is Walking Up Georgia Road. And we just looked it up from the CD, and as I recall we had the album. And on the album, it was called Walking Up Georgia Road, or sometimes Walking Up a Georgia Road, but we called it Walking Up Georgia Road. But then we just went to look for it, to look for some information, and on Bandcamp, it's just calling it Georgia Road.
Right,
so,
but the album has been uploaded to Bandcamp from Apple Shop. June Apple, APPAL, was the record label of Apple Shop back then.
And so this came from a fiddler that was sort of found and promoted, I think, by Rich Kirby and Tom Bledsoe, and he was from
down in that area,
Southwest Virginia,
far
southwest, like Gate City or far Southwest Virginia, and his name was Uncle Charlie Osborne, and he was the liner notes alone for that CD, much less the music, were just so interesting and so worth it. He was quite an interesting person. They recorded him when he was almost 95. You would never, Adam was talking a little while ago about Luther Davis being tenuous and when he was very old. You would have never known that Charlie Osborne, he played with vigor and strength and everything, and he was 95. And the other little interesting tidbit about him was that when he was 22 years old, someone shot him in the head. I don't know if it was a, romantic quarrel or whatever, but I can't remember from the liner notes, but he was shot, and so he was blind, and the bullet was still in his head at age 95.
And not getting in his way.
Not getting in his way at all in terms of playing, for sure. But it is a wonderful project, and like I said, the liner notes are incredible to read about him and stuff. And as I like to say, this tune is fantastic, and there's a really, really, really nice version of Oh Me Wise on it, which I have meant to learn for a long time and never have. So anyway, it's a very worthy CD to look into or download.
Yeah, I was happy to discover it is on Bandcamp. I didn't think it had been reissued in any digital format. And it's nice. You've had me listen to the whole thing, your old copy of it, and the playing is good, and the tune versions are distinctive.
So check it out, and hope you like this one.
Yes. And if you do, thank Beth Williams Harkness for disseminating it. love that tune. I love
And
the
chord
way you
progression.
play it on the guitar.
Oh, thank you. The chord progression is a little non-traditional.
It's distinctive, but it makes the tune, I think. You told me about that CD and that track a long time ago when we were first getting acquainted, and I remember I was living in West Virginia at the time. I had a car with a CD player. You lent me your copy of the Young Fogies 2. I had Young Fogies 1, but I don't think I even knew the other one existed, and I swear
Ray
between...
Alden.
Right, Ray Alden recorded those, and the Clifftop Tribute CD, which I did have,
Right.
which you also had a track on. And I swear, between Greensboro and West Virginia, I think I just put that track, not the whole disc, the track on repeat. It was so good, and I wanted to really get to know it.
I felt like that about the Wandering Ramblers.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that whole album.
repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was some great old-time music recorded in those days, 80s and 90s.
Yes, there was.
There really was. All right, it's time for our last number. Rousing last number it won't be. We really like this tradition of closing with a waltz, and we sure appreciate our loyal follower Lori Woods from Brooklyn encouraging us to include waltzes in the programming. Not everybody likes waltzes in old-time music, but we really do, and it's a good excuse for us to learn some more. This is one that we've sort of worked on off and on for a little while, but nice to have an excuse to really sort it out. Another contemporary composition. This is Life's Fortune, written by our very good friend Erynn Marshall, who is another super talented composer of old-time fiddle tunes, new ones, that fit squarely into the tradition. She recorded this with Jason and Ferris Romero on that wonderful Haints album.
Yeah.
So good. If you haven't heard that album, you're missing out. And it's just the prettiest thing. It goes right where you expect, and I think it'll be a nice note to end on. But even nicer if we're in tune with each other.
You want to see if anybody has anything to say?
I guess I
before
should
we
check
get
in
into it?
once more. Lillian loves the chords on Georgia Road. They are cool, aren't they? Terry Hoffer is there. Just tuned in to Georgia Road. Hi, Terry.
Hey, Terry.
Wish you were here with your banjo.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see you around this summer. And by the way, next month I'm going to be at Swanee Banjo Camp in Florida. We're both going to be at the Old Pal Festival in Texas for the first time. My first gig in Texas ever. Your first gig in Texas?
Well, for music.
For music, yeah, right, true. And then we're going to go back to the Greenleaf Festival in Oklahoma in April. Those are our upcoming events. Let us know if we might see you there, or say hello if you spot us.
And as long as you're saying in Banjo Camp North.
Banjo Camp North in May.
And Midwest Banjo Camp.
Midwest Banjo Camp in
and
June.
then Swannanoa.
Swannanoa in July.
Yeah.
It's getting ready to kick up here, and we're very excited.
And we are very excited that this year, because of the way the calendar falls and stuff, we get to go to Mount Airy this year. We haven't been to Mount Airy in
many years.
I
think about 10 years.
Yeah.
Usually Midwest Banjo Camp lands right on top of it, but there was a calendar conflict at the facility that hosts that camp, so it's a weekend later than usual. We can have our cake and eat it too.
Mount Airy, so maybe we'll see some of you guys there.
Yeah, we're just going to be on vacation at Mount Airy, which will be nice.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Wish we
Very
could have heard
much.
you play, but it's nice to imagine how great it sounds out there.
And hopefully we'll be with someone in a jam here soon.
Yes, looking forward to seeing you around. Life's Fortune by Erynn Marshall. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Waltz's Fortune by Erynn Marshall. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Can't you imagine the waltzers just twirling around?
Oh, absolutely. I can't play that without imagining the waltzers.
Yeah, truly.
Waltzing. Not that I waltz.
But you could. You can imagine.
Right.
Great to have you all here with us tonight. See you soon, I hope. Bye now.